It's your girl Quania Prince, and I am back and at it again. Last time we drew an attractive male character using 7 tips that I went over in that video. You can check out that video by clicking the info card. If you want to see the fully rendered drawing, check out my Instagram and TikTok. You'll be able to see the entire painting process in 30 seconds or less, and some funny animations there. What can I say? I like to make them do a little bit of goofy things over there. Anyway, let's move on to this video. I really wanted to flex my character design muscles and decided to challenge myself to a random character fruit design challenge. The fruits that were generated for me were the rambutan, kiwano melon, and starfruit. That sounds like an interesting mix. I wonder what all of them would taste like in a bowl together. You know what? Let's not talk about that. Let's not think about that. Let's talk about this. Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay in the loop when a new video is uploaded. Now, let's get started. Okay, so my first fruit is the rambutan fruit. So as you saw in the reference photo, it's round on the outside, nice deep rich red texture, and then a creamy texture or creamy color on the inside. And there is various colors in the, I don't know what the terminology would be, but almost like fur. It has a lot of creaminess in it. So I wanted to bring those elements here with a little bit of pizzazz. So you see a full bottom, nice rounded skirt. Imagine that a petticoat or something's under that to give it that volume, with silk feathers coming outside of the skirt. Soft to the touch, I would believe so. The top is a halter top. And I played around with the colors because in one of the reference photos that I was looking at for the rambutan fruit, it had a little bit of oranges coming out of it, some gold. So I wanted to bring those elements in, like coming up from the bottom of the dress itself. I played around with the collar. I was thinking about doing like a ruffle situation, and then I thought against it because I don't know if a ruffle collar actually would do anything for it. Other accessories that I played with was sleeves. Decided against it. I did give her a headdress, and these are the earrings. I wanted once again to bring in that feathery element, so you can see all of that togetherness: the headdress, the earrings, the dress itself. So when you see the transition to the actual character, you'll notice that some of that floofiness, that puffiness in the dress is gone, but the overall element of movement is there, and that is the theme for this particular character. So now we're moving on to coloring the actual character wearing the outfit now. This particular idea behind it is I wanted a kind of innocent pose where she's looking up towards something. I did find an amazing reference for that and decided to use that for this. Her fascinator or headdress, I don't know, comb, head accessory. I was watching Critical Role, and Abria Iyengar was wearing a very similar headdress, or not headdress, I keep saying headdress, like headband. And I decided that I wanted to have her have that. I think it's a really cute, it looks dangerous, but it looks so cute. At this point, you can see what the outfit itself is going to look like, or in its entirety. So she's wearing flats with this. She is a girl who wants to do a lot of dancing, a lot of movement. This is supposed to be a more comfortable outfit. I imagine if she wants to have that roundness, she would wear some type of undergarment in order to fluff out the skirt more. In fact, I'm thinking about drawing this character again with that whole with the skirt actually fully being out and stationary versus showing movement and getting rid of that that structure that was underneath of the dress. So we're adding the highlights, the shadows, and things like that. and I couldn't decide where I wanted her to be, what the background would be. So instead I decided to use the reference and created this stage lighting situation. It's just darker, more at night type of feel I went with. I think it looks so cute. I think she looks so pretty and so adorable. And I gave her a little more color in her skin. Yeah, okay, so now we're moving on to the kiwano fruit, or kiwano fruit, the horned melon. So I decided to, for this one, right away, as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what I wanted the hair to look like. I knew I wanted to be braided with beading. So that's exactly what I did. The beads itself are supposed to be representative of the horns, and the braids is creating the structure. For the overall hairstyle, I modeled it after T-Boz from TLC, with the kind of horn puffs at the top of the head, the long bangs on the side, and then the more rounded bang above the brows. For the outfit, this is where I did my most exploration. I had no idea what I wanted to do for this. Originally, I was thinking more like, oh, I want to do a more anime type of girl. That is not what I did. I wanted her to have, like, I know I wanted a oversized element, which I still kept, even when you see this portion with me sleeking her top down, creating like a bralette halter top situation. I'm still going to bring in the oversized element. It just won't be the entire outfit instead, or the top part of her body. Instead, it'll just be her bottom part. So her pants are going to be oversized. This is such a cute halter top. I did see T-Boz from TLC wearing something pretty similar to it, and I wanted to incorporate that, but I wanted to make sure I still brought in the insides of the horned melon in by giving it that, what would you call that? By giving it a the little spindly things on the inside. I don't know, not the rind, but the network inside of it. So you see the green with the yellow on top. I wanted to bring that into it. Here's the oversized element. My favorite part, the palazzos. That's exactly what I did. I have one of those, so I have a pair of these pants, so I wanted to bring that in. We have the horns in the top, and I gave her a shawl that is feathery and over the top. This is quintessential 90s to me. I absolutely love it. All right, so we're transitioning to the actual drawing itself and the painting process for this particular drawing. This, I decided to go with this type of pose where she's fierce. Once again, this is 90s inspired, so the buff body type was definitely in during that time. I think Britney Spears, where the abs were on display, so, or Beyonce. So I decided to bring those elements in here and where you can see that. But as far as like everything else goes, it's pretty much a direct translation from what I did when I was brainstorming what the outfit itself would look like. Of course, there are some fine details that have been changed, such as the size of her jacket and the size of the horns within the metal spikes within the halter top itself. So those elements have been changed, but the hairstyle overall is the same. Everything else is the same, just fully rendered. I couldn't decide if I wanted her to have heels or flats. I ended up going with heels, but of course the position that she's in and the type of heel that she's wearing, you wouldn't really be able to see that. The other influence for this besides TLC was Scary Spice. I was a huge Spice Girl fan when I was younger, so I wanted to bring her in here, specifically Scary Spice. So she's giving me like a mix of TL and Scary, if I do see so myself. So you'll notice that the lighting situation is going to be very similar to what we saw in the previous one, except for she is backlit. So I wanted to add some drama, but I wanted it also to look like, once again, she is on some type of stage sound set. Like a backdrop where she is actually being photographed. So that is what I'm going with for this, trying to figure out where the shadows are going to be. And I decided to just simplify it. In the end, this was a lot of me figuring out what to do with the shadows. Okay, so we're still working out the background, and this is like the final look of it. I think it's pretty much the final look. I'm just adding in more brightness and more light and more pizzazz in here. But I think she's so cute and adorable. Oh my gosh, she has such an adorable face. I love her so much. Okay, so that's, like I said, pretty much the final look. Let's move on to the next girl. Okay, so for this one, as you can see, what we're going to be doing is the star fruit. So I had no idea what I wanted to do for this. You'll see me playing around with various ideas. Like at first I was like, okay, do I want to do like some type of pleated skirt? Then the skirt turned into a full-on dress that's tiered and like asymmetrical, and bringing in the star element directly in the bodice and having like making her look like a layered cake was what was coming to mind. I still like this, but this is not what I went with. Instead, you'll see in just a moment what I went with. So that is like pretty much what her hair is going to look like, what you see on the side. And now I was thinking about the seeds for bringing the seeds and bringing that into her hair. The body I went with, okay, for her, my inspiration was K-pop, so a lot more relevant for K-pop today. So I have like a hoodie ensemble with a nice dress, short mini dress that is flared. And here we go. We are seeing the coloring process right now. So for this, I wanted that green. I wanted the various shades of green and orange to come through. And I wanted her to be blonde per the seeds. And of course, I wanted her to have tan skin because I believe that will pop a little bit more with this particular outfit. So you're seeing me right now. Like I am guilty for going in and rendering the face as soon as possible. I love faces, so that is what I'm doing right now. You'll see me bounce around, so I'm adding some shadows here, I'm adding some various elements there, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the brows, because having stark white blonde brows against tan skin, while it can be very pretty, I was not seeing it. Okay, so now I'm going to add in some more detail. I decided to go with I wanted to go for a plastic top to the skirt, like a reusable element, just to show that she's a little more green. So that is what I'm going for with that. I wanted leather boots, so we're giving her leather, sparkly, shiny material. She is the hip hop dancer or K-pop dancer of the group, so she needs to know how to work it. So that is what we are giving her. So I'm going back to the hair now, adding some shine, trying to figure out, still in my head, what I'm going to do about these brows, what I'm going to do about the hair, how am I feeling about all of this. And I think it turns out pretty well. I was playing around whether or not I wanted to add like a pattern at the top to incorporate more of the seeds in that way. Decided against it. I went darker on the overall, like the accessories for the boots and the hoodie. I decided that I wanted more contrast there, so that's what I did. Playing around with the background colors, trying to figure out what I want to be there. And then I decided, okay, it doesn't, even though it could make sense for one braid or to be in the back, ponytail to be in the back, I decided to bring that forward so we can see more of the motion there, working out various portions, proportions, and things like that right now. Bringing in the highlights, figuring out the background, how strong are the light, figuring all that stuff out, how disco-y I want it to be. Decided to go with a darker background this time. And that is it. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate it. These are the final 3. Well, not final 3. It's not like I did more than 3. Although I did think about it. But these are the 3. Let me know what you guys think. What would you have done differently? And hey, take these fruit and create your own character and send it to me. Hashtag me, at me, whatever. Let me know, because I'm really curious what other people come up with when it comes to these particular fruits. I thought that they were great fruits to pick from. The star fruit was the hardest for me. I think you could see that with what I ended up going with. But yeah, just let me know what you guys end up doing. What would you like to see next time? And once again, thank you for watching. And if you really enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.